Hey guys, Tiffany with another video, and as you guys saw in the title, this video is going to be all about the new Bobbi Brown foundation. I have picked up 3 foundations in like the months of December and January alone. I picked up the new NARS foundation, which I already did a video on. If you guys have not checked it out, I'll leave a link right here so you can go and see my initial thoughts on that. I also picked up the new Dior foundation. Let me know down below in the comment section if you guys want me to bring you a video just with my initial impressions for that foundation. And then of course today we have this new Bobbi Brown Skin Long Wear Weightless Foundation with broad spectrum SPF 15. So many of you guys hit me up on my social media and asked if I was going to pick this up, which y'all should have already known I was. I personally talk a lot about the Bobbi Brown foundations here on my channel. Some of my favorite Bobbi Brown foundations are her stick foundations, her skin stick foundations. And you guys know I hate stick foundations, but Bobbi Brown's are the only one I love. And the foundation that I pretty much rocked all last summer, which was the Bobbi Brown Skin Foundation in the shade 6.75. So of course when I heard that they were coming out with a new foundation, I was like, yes, because I'm all about that life. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a little disclaimer. I normally do demos in my foundation videos so you guys can see how the foundation applies. I didn't realize when I was doing the demo for this foundation that I was like completely out of focus. I don't know what I was doing, but I did a get ready with me on this look today. So you guys will still be able to see how the foundation applies if you kind of stay tuned towards the end of the week for that one. But I'm so sorry I don't have a demo to show you guys. So first things first, we'll go ahead and get into packaging. Then we'll get into the things that this foundation claims to do. And as always, I'll come to the end and tell you guys just how I'm feeling about this foundation so far. So it comes packaged in the typical black and white Bobbi Brown packaging. Again, this is the Skin Long Wear Weightless Foundation. It does have SPF 15. It says it is a full coverage oil-free shine control foundation, and you do get 1 fluid ounce. And then here is how the actual foundation looks. It is a frosted glass bottle. I can appreciate the glass bottle because you guys know I'm someone who just likes fancy packaging. And then once you take the top off, it does come with the pump for $46, which is how much this foundation costs. I expected it to come with the pump anyway. Now this foundation does come in 40 different shades, which is a really good shade selection. One of the things I love about the Bobbi Brown foundations is that they come in so many different shades. So no matter if you fall towards the lighter end of the spectrum or the deeper end of the spectrum, you should be able to find something that works for your skin tone. I have the shade 6.5 Warm Almond. I also picked this up in 6.75, which you guys know, as I said before, I had the skin foundation in 6.75 because this was just like my perfect summer color. So I decided to also pick this one up in 6.75. But today, and the shade that I've been wearing for like the past almost 2 weeks, has been 6.5. Now as far as some of the claims to this foundation, it says that this is a full long wear coverage that looks and feels like skin. It's not masky, heavy, or cakey. This high performance oil-free formula creates a poreless, shine-free finish with incredibly comfortable day to night wear. It also says that the silky emulsion of true to skin pigments, hydrating emollients, and wear extended ingredients floats over your skin and deliver flexible and breathable coverage. It says that this foundation is going to instantly mattify oily skin for a natural look that is never dull, never dry or flat, and it helps minimize oil throughout the day and it reduces the appearance of pores over time. That is definitely one of the things that first caught my attention with this foundation, because you guys hear me say all the time, I have big pores. I know y'all don't see them, but I promise you, like, you can really see my pores if you're, you know, up close in my 50 feet radius. So I love the fact that this is supposed to, over time, reduce the appearance of pores. Of course, that means it's not going to be something instant, but if you were to use this foundation on a continuous basis, you're supposed to see that. It also says that this foundation stays fresh all day and into the night with coverage that lasts even in hot and humid climates. So this foundation is supposed to be for more of the normal to oily skin. She does again have great foundations that are out there geared towards dry skin. That's not to say that if you're dry you shouldn't try this out. Definitely, if any of you all have dry skin and you've tried this out, let us know your feedback down below. But because I do have combination oily skin, I just thought that this foundation would be perfect for me. So one of the things right off the bat that I love about this foundation again is the shade range. I think that this one 6.5 is just a dead on match for me, especially now. And like I said, I already know 6.75 works great for me during the summer when I'm outside a lot more and I'm a lot more tan and bronze. But 6.5 was just like a really, really great match. I do not feel like this foundation oxidizes at all. Whatever the color is when you first apply it, it's going to be the color that it stays true to throughout your whole entire wear. So I really love that. Just to target some of the claims, it first says that this is a fresh foundation that is not cakey and that is not masky, and I can definitely agree. I love how it just kind of looks like my skin but better. Now you guys know I just tried out the NARS foundation, and one of the things I liked about the NARS foundation was that it just kind of looked like your skin but a whole lot better. But I feel like this foundation to me looks even more skin-like than the NARS does. Like this just looks exactly like how my skin is supposed to look in my mind. Really healthy, really fresh. So I can definitely agree with that claim. It does not look cakey. It does not look masky at all. I have worn this foundation total, like the total time I've worn it was 9 hours, and I promise you I only had to blot about twice, and by the end of the day, and I wore it to work, I still looked really, really fresh in the face, and it just had a really great skin-like type of look. So I would definitely agree with those claims for this foundation. Another claim that it says to be is comfortable, and I really feel like this is such a comfortable and breathable foundation. It almost feels like I'm not wearing anything on my face at all, which is crazy because I know I have foundation on, but it's really, really lightweight and breathable, and I love foundations like that. You guys know, even though I sometimes like more of a full coverage, I just don't like to have that heavy feel on my face. That is one of the things that I didn't care for about the Huda Beauty foundation. I always felt like the foundation was there, even though it looked nice. I mean, the color was off, but it still had a nice finish overall to it, but it just always felt super, super heavy on my face, and I didn't like that. This foundation is the complete opposite because it just feels like nothing at all on your face. Some of the things I don't really care for about this foundation: one, I feel like although they say this is a full coverage, it's a buildable full coverage. Like this to me is more of a medium coverage at best. When you apply it, it just gives you a nice fresh look. I think if you're someone who has like a lot of blemishes, you're gonna have to color correct. You're gonna have to, you know, kind of maneuver a little bit more with this foundation because it doesn't start off as a full coverage, although that is one of the things that they're claiming. I think you are definitely going to have to build it up if you want that. Now today I ended up using, I want to say about 4.5 pumps, and this is the finish that I was left with. Now although yes, it does look really great, I'm, you know, not saying that I don't like the way it looks, because I do. I just feel like you're gonna really have to work with it more to cover up some problem areas, and I don't really feel like I have too many problem areas. I have some discoloration here on my face. You guys know I also have freckles. I'm not really trying to hide my freckles or anything, but I noticed that when I applied it with like the first 2 pumps, you could still see my freckles like really clear. By 3 pumps, they were starting to not be as noticeable, but even now some of my freckles that are a little bit darker in this area, you're still able to see them. So I think again, if you have like problematic skin and you feel like you're gonna have a lot to cover up, you're either gonna really have to work with this to build it up, or this may be a foundation that you kind of want to skip. As far as the application of this foundation, I applied it with the same brush I used to apply the NARS foundation, and that is my Dillium 957 Precision Kabuki brush. I'm gonna leave a link down below to the brush set that this came with, because when I tell you guys, this brush just applies foundation like a dream. It just kind of like buffs it in and gives your foundation such a natural finish. So this is the brush that I use, but in saying that, I think it's gonna be a personal preference on what kind of tool you want to apply this with. I feel like this foundation almost has a bit of a tackiness to it when you apply it. So I definitely could see where it would benefit you to apply it with a damp beauty blender, because it kind of gets some of that tackiness out and makes it not as streaky when you're applying it. But I also feel like the beauty blender sucks up a lot of product and you kind of have to use a lot of product already to get that really flawless full coverage look. So I opted to go with the brush, but in using a brush, I think you're gonna have to kind of apply it in sections. I feel like when I just worked kind of on one side of my face at a time with the brush, I didn't really have any issues, but because it does again have that tacky feel to it, you're gonna have to work just a little bit harder if you want to use a brush as opposed to using a beauty blender. But that's why I say I think it's gonna end up being a personal preference. But overall, again, after wearing this foundation for about 2 weeks, is this something that I recommend? What are my first initial kind of final impressions on this foundation? I have to tell you guys, I'm so in love. I love how it looks. I love how it just kind of looks like your skin. I have not worn concealer with this foundation, which is crazy for me because you guys know I have that under eye darkness. I have those bags underneath my eyes, but I feel like I don't have to wear concealer with this foundation. I just been applying a setting powder underneath my eyes and I've been going and I really like it. Again, it gives you such a fresh face, natural but still flawless type of finish. Yes, you kind of have to work with it a little bit, but the outcome is gorgeous. I also don't feel like I have to set my face with powder, especially if I know I'm going to be wearing this foundation less than 8 hours. But if I know I'm going to be working with it for more than 8 hours, I will just kind of set my face with a little bit of powder. But like today, I didn't set my face with powder at all, and I just again really love how it looks. I think you don't have to do too much. I'm not wearing any blush. I'm just wearing some highlighter and some bronzer. Again, no setting powder, no concealer, and I just again love how this foundation looks. It's like your skin but better. Super breathable, not cakey. Again, it's a matte, but it's not like that drying type of matte, because like I said, you can't even really feel it. It's almost like a semi-matte type of formula, and I really love that. So far, yes. Okay, I didn't think that this foundation was gonna disappoint. Like, I already knew I was gonna love it, because one thing I love about Bobbi Brown, like, to me, her skincare and her foundations, like, they all go hand in hand. She works with a lot of products that are good for your skin, so I'm never really concerned when I buy anything from her line, be it skincare or foundations. And again, this one is just, I love it. Okay, add it to the other ones that I love because it is such a gorgeous finish. You guys know how this works. I love to wear foundations for about a month before I give you my final thoughts. So definitely be on the lookout in one of my haul it but how was it videos for this. Also stay tuned again if you guys want to see this face and you know how I applied the foundation. I apologize I didn't have the demo in this video, but I wasn't about to bring y'all no crap. Y'all know how I work. So let me know your thoughts on how this foundation looks, and also if you picked it up down below in the comment section. Again, if you are a dry skin girl or guy, let us know your thoughts down below for those who may have dry skin and are thinking about trying this out. And anything else y'all want to tell me down below. Y'all know I love your feedback. Thank you guys as always for rocking with your girl, and until next time, bye YouTube.